Well, last week in Austria had some interesting moments, some wild racing and all that fun stuff. And we had the second most wins in in the tier, being tied again between Skither and Cookie. But now we return back to the home race for many of these individuals. This is RPL Tier 1. We are back at Silverstone for round 9 of the championship. And we also have some interesting news to go forward on here. But let's get the show on the road here. Ironwolf on hand for comms tonight. And we will be having a full grid potentially. We're just waiting on just Beatnik, just waiting to get himself in, and we should be good to go. But before we get into things here, let's go over one small formality here. Because of how bad the attendance was over the last several weeks, the admins decided right after the penultimate round of Tier 3 was cancelled off because of nobody showing up. They decided that Tier 3, as of yesterday or Thursday evening, is officially shut down. Tier 3 is no more. And everybody that was signed to Tier 3 for the next upcoming season, their contracts are pretty much full terminated and void, which means, and with the shutdown of everything, that means everybody in Tier 3 is now a free agent. So, that will give people time to scramble and get some people in for the next Tier 2 season. And speaking of the Tier 2 season, they did have their race sheet earlier today. Now, I wonder if we have the results of the event, and looks like we do not. So we do not have the results for Tier 2 either, so we don't know what happened in that one. But apparently, JMS was the winner, but that's pretty much all we could tell you, as we don't have results available. Now, I will say, for Tier 1, last week, we were in Austria. That race was won by Skither, fending off Cookie for the win. I'll have to look back at the third place spot because the results is we don't have the results currently. Oh, here we go. So Skither was the winner, Cookie second, and Willow was in third. Yeah. Like I said, I don't have the full results, full official results. That's mainly because the race reports from last week's events in round 8, they're not out yet. So last week's races for no reports. So yeah. And yeah, so because of all that complete unorganized of everything, I missed seeing that SV just got himself a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Alex Norris. Apparently Alex Norris tried to overtake him in the pits on the pit entry, and that resulted in the two colliding, and SV got himself a 5-place grid drop. Alright. But yeah, I guess this report is not out as of yet. We don't know. We don't know what's going on there. But let's go over the Drivers' Championship. So, as it sits, well, truth be told, honestly, I don't even know what the championship standings are at the round 8 because EXO, who didn't do Canada's, was because he was on vacation. He's back from vacation from what I'm told, but he's still always behind. So, still waiting on that. So, yeah, I'm sorry that we don't have our championship standings currently, because, or any of our results, because, we are completely disorganized. We're completely disorganized. Alright, well, let's get into Silverstone here. So, we have 19 right now, still waiting on Beatnik to show up later. So, let's see our people here for today. So, just going over in order. So we have Raphael in a Ferrari, Gecko Cookie in a McLaren, Alex Norris in Red Bull, Reese Mercedes, Robin in Aston, Maxwell in Williams, Savage in Alpine, Torn Penguin in Aston, Josh and Minico in Haas, Night Owl Williams, Fusion V-Carb, same with TB, SV Alpine, Skither in Mercedes, Andrea in Red Bull, Goatley, Sauber, and Shorts is in Ferrari. As I said, we only have one person missing, that being Beatnik, who is in the other Sauber. But unfortunately, it looks like he's not even here, so we don't know what's going on with him. Alright, so let's go on with some of our drivers here. Let's go with Goatley on a run as he heads into the last chicanes here. And across the line, he will come to finish up his time lap. And it is a 27.5. That is way down in 15th. So he will be needing to do something within the next 6 minutes to try to get himself out of what will be practically P17 right now. Looks like SV and Fusion are going to have to retrying their laps. SV actually just invalidated, so he'll try again. But let's go with Fusion here. Down the hanger straight. Into Stowe. And in through the last chicane to Club. And woo, save it. And there you go. And up into 10th with a 26.9. Raphael, by the way, has the fastest lap right now with a 25.5 for his moment. Let's switch over to Andrea. As you can see, it looks like he's out of fuel. So, sucks for him. So, Raphael, Gecko, and Alex Norris, they believe they've done more than enough. I mean, those guys are first, second, and fourth, respectively. So, no doubt about it. They are definitely good to go. And Robin in P7 has decided to call it. Not bad choice for that one. Shorts in fifth, he's called it. Yeah, so Robin with a 26-2, about 12 thousandths off of Reese's time. Solid, respectable run there. But here we go, Skither, fire up on his first lap into turn 1. Into 7th gear, Cookie calls it. Into turn 2, into the village now. And the loop. 3 and 4. Coming out of 5 of, I believe that's Aintree. Down the Wellington Straight. Up through gears, gets to around 204 into the braking zone of Brooklands and Luffield. Now down the old pit straight. Roaring up into the gears again. To Cops. Flat out uses the gear braking. Out through Cops. Down to Maggots, Beckett's, and Chapel. Through there, Reese calls it. Top 7 out. They are good to go for Q2. Roaring down again. Go Skither down the Hangar Straight. 207 to the braking zone of Stowe. Keeps within the lines. Into the Vale Chicane to finish up. Maxwell believes he's good enough. Skither roaring down to cross the line to finish it up. And it's a 25-7. That's second fastest. So second fastest for Skither, who, like I said, just last week, tied with Cookie again at 37 wins in Tier 1. Both of them, by the way, are 6 shy off of tying the record of Luke with 43. And I'm going to say safely and honestly, I believe, I know for a fact, that record will fall this season. I have a good feeling it will fall. Will it be Cookie that'll do it? Perhaps. Could it be Skither? I don't know. Alright, so it looks like we got quite a few on-out laps right now. We have one on a time lap, that's TB. He's currently entering Cops right now. Let's switch over to him. He just gone wide out of Cops just a little bit. That resulted in invalidation, so TB's going to have to try again later on. Raphael just returned back, just had a minor disconnect, but he's back. And let's see, so the gap between Raphael and Skither for their times, it's basically 0.205. That's the gap. 0.205 is the gap. Running on with Andrea. Could he get himself into the top 3 potentially? We would love to have a really strong lap here. Now, and that is the Aston. I believe that was Torn. Yeah, that's Torn Penguin, giving Andrea a bit of a boost. And now we head into the last corners here. Across the line will come Andrea, and it's only 9th fastest. A 26,396 for Andrea. But that is a little. That's a bit of a surprise. See Andrea that a bit down that far. And wait, what? Quality's already over. Huh. Okay. I mean, literally about a minute ago I said that there was still quite a bit of time to get some laps in, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong in my timing. But anyways, so we have our 4 eliminated. TB out by 11 thousandths to Torn Penguin, Fusion, Night Owl, and Goat Lee the slowest. So we wrap up. We say goodbye to both V-Carbs, then Williams a Night Owl, and the Sauber of Goat Lee. Top 3 it is Raphael, Skither, and Gecko. And the gap between those top 3 from 1st to 3rd, it is 0.255. Okay, I just had to pop into the Ferrari Academy voice call to see if it was the case. And yeah, SVE was going into the pits, and Alex Norris thought he was going a little too slow to his liking, so he went and passed. They touched, and it was a slight touch, and it just gave SV a 5-place gear drop. So that's what happened with SV. But I did get a weather report from Reese. So here's what we have. Q1 it was dry. Q2 it is dry. Q3 there is a possibility that rain may show up during or towards the end of Q3. But the race itself, it's gonna be a wet one, boys. It's a wet one. So, this will be interesting. It's been a little bit since we've had a wet race. And if it's wet throughout the entirety of the race, that'll be interesting. Alright. Let's go on with Skither here, as he is getting on his lap here. And fun times we got on hand. So 15 in for Q2. The fastest 10 will be making it through into Q number 3. 11th through 15th will be eliminated. And bear in mind, wherever SV finishes, if he is outside of the top 10, like let's say he got knocked out and he's in 12th, with that 5-place grid drop, he'll be starting in 17th. So on and so forth. So if he's one of the ones knocked out in Q2, he could be starting as worse as 16th, or as worse as dead last, which is either P19 or P20, depending on if Beatnik shows up. So, let's get there as he heads into Stowe, roaring out and getting everything in just right. And in and set, roars into the overtake and flying in and across the line, benchmark 25.8. So let's see. So we got Robin 26.6, 26.0 for Alex Norris, 25.8 for Gecko, 16 thousandths behind. Josh 27.2. Next we got the Alpine of SV 27.3. Now let's take a look now. So we got Torn Penguin coming across 27.4 for him. Reese 26.3 for him. Savage just starting his lap. Next up we got trouble. Minico. Oh, Minico must have made a mistake. That's why he backed off. Cookie with a 25.9. And Shorts in with a 26.1. Minico restarting, so we are ignoring his 42.4. We are ignoring that. And Raphael just starting up his time lap. Savage currently in Luffield on his run. Minico getting some help via Shorts. And SV has wrecked! And there he is. He crashed in the middle of Beckett's? Well, that's an unusual area to crash. Huh. Okay. Well, Savage, by the way, just went with a 27.2. So he goes in. Let's see Minico's improved run here. Maxwell's out on the track. It looks like Raphael's going to be retrying. It's a 28.3 for Minico. And Raphael goes fastest with a 25.7. So Maxwell out on the track right now, getting his lap in. Apparently it was a controls it was a controls failure, mainly being a wheel going. I died. That sucks. So SV, wherever he is gonna be at the end of this, is where he'll be starting. So, two drivers, you have to get a lap in, that being Andrea and Maxwell. Now, I will say with Andrea, right after his name, right after his first name, the one there, I'm gonna butcher this so badly, so sorry in advance, Andrea. So it's like Andrea Manunza, something Italian, or could be Manunza or something. I mean, yeah. It's one of the two. I probably butchered it. Not as bad as when I butcher Reese's last name. I always say, sometimes I say his wrong and he gets mad at me for it. There goes Maxwell, down the hangar straight. There is Gecko giving him a hand. And in and through to Stowe. Maxwell would love to get himself into Q3. I mean, what fitting way would it be to have a Williams in Q3? But here we go. Coming across the line goes Maxwell. And it's P8, a 26.6. And it looks like Andrea, I guess, had to redo his lap. Or he went back to the pits and, yeah, let's try again. But, I don't know. But anyways. On hand with Andrea. So he roars down hangar. There is Robin setting over. Here we go. Into Vale. We go. And across the line we go. And it's P5 for Andrea. Slightly ahead of Alex Norris by about 27 thousandths of a second. Ooh, that was close. That was a bit of a close call between Andrea and Skither. So, with those two out of the way now, so we have Josh, Savage, Storm Penguin, and Minico in the bottom 5 right now, as Gecko goes fastest with a 25.5. That just about mirrored Raphael's time from Q1. Just about mirrored it, pretty much. Shorts responds with a 25.4. Very nice response. So, nope, that's Silverstone reversed. Well, we can't use last season's poll to see how much the gap would be, because it was a wet Q3, so it was on inters, we couldn't get that. Cookie is improving on his time, almost a quarter of a second up, so he's gonna be just a smidge ahead of Raphael. Alex Norris, wow, 25.4. Very nice stuff. 6,000 behind short stuff. Here we go. Cookie. On his response. Day Jesus! 25-3. What a response out of that one. Good lord. Savage currently going through Maggots, Beckett's, and Chapel. Almost 2/10 up in the first sector. See what he's got for the second sector. Ooh, over 6/10 up. That's gonna put him right close behind Maxwell right now. This is gonna put him right around with Maxwell right now. Well, let's see what he's got in the last couple of corners here. Won't make any mistakes, dude. There he comes, across the line, and ooh, just gets ahead of him. So now Maxwell's in the bubble. Honestly, Maxwell, if I was you, dude, wow, Skither with a 25-4 as well, goes 2 thousandths faster than Shorts, and 8 thousandths ahead of Alex Norris. Kind of crazy. Second to fourth, separated by 8 thousandths of a second. So Torn Penguin, if he needs to get himself into the top 10, he needs to beat a 26.609. He's 7/10 up in the second sector, so he is going to be very close. He just has to hit these last few points just right in order to get himself into a shot for Q3. But here we go, cross the line, and it is a 26-4. So Maxwell now in the bottom 5. And speaking of people in the bottom, and speaking of people at risk or in close to the bottom, on board with Reese. He's in 8th. He's at risk. He could be a potential risk. Well, I would say that, but now he's almost a quarter of a second up in the second sector. So he's going to increase the gap. He's going to stay in 8th, but he's just going to increase his gap. Oh! Invalidated. Oh, man. And let's see the time. 26.023. Yeah, he would have still stayed in 8th, but would he have an even bigger cushion on his hands? So, let's take a look at our rest of the guys in our bottom 5. Minico, Josh, Robin, and Maxwell. Josh almost half a second ahead. That's gonna not change his position at the moment. But let's see what he's got out of here. So, Storm Penguin's gotta hope his teammate or Maxwell don't beat him and get into Q3. Here we go. Josh coming across, sliding and sliding, but it's not enough. Josh is out. Raphael 25-1. That's the fastest now. Minico comes across 13th. So SV will be starting in dead last. Now Robin comes across for his time. He goes to 7th. Torn Penguin is knocked out. And Maxwell, 0.294. He has the chance. He's looking at Q3. Here we go. Across the line. He's done it. He has done it. 26-2. Maxwell makes it through. Savage out by almost 200ths of a second to Reese. So we lose both Alpines of SV and Savage. The Aston, a Torn Penguin, and both Haas's of Minico and Josh. So SV will be starting dead last. Raphael on top. Cookie is second. Skither third. And then we have Shorts, Alex Norris, Gecko, Robin, Andrea, Maxwell, and Reese. That's your crew of 10 going into Q3. And also, by the way, if Reese's time did count and he didn't invalidate, Reese's time would have been ninth fastest, and he would have been ahead. He would have been ahead of Maxwell, I believe, by just about, I think maybe about 100th. Yeah. So just about a tenth, perhaps, but very close. And here we go. This is it. Q3. Who will be getting pole? Where do you think the top three is going to be? I, I'm going to make my prediction easily. I'm going to say the top three in no particular order. It's going to be Raphael, Skither, and uh, I'm gonna go dark. I'm gonna go a bit on the dark horse, so I can say Cookie. That's gotta be the. That's gotta be the top three. As for I think in poll time, Raphael did get a 25-1. I'm thinking maybe we'll see a 25-0. I don't know if we will hit the 24s, but if the 24s does get hit, that would be incredible. Alright, we're in with Q3. We got cars out on the track. We have cars getting times in. Looks like our benchmark looks like it's going to be Robin. But we're going to keep our focus on Andrea. Gonna be who I have as one of the... As one of the outlier contenders. Could be fighting for pole here. But here we go. With Andrea heading towards Stowe. This is going to be a bit of a interesting lap here. Here we go. Robin setting the benchmark 26.4. Little too early on the turn, Andrea, but cross for him 25.7 for him. We'll see how Alex Norris responds. It's a 25.6 for him. 25.166 for Raphael. Now, what about the Mercedes pair? Skither's getting his lap started. Reese has gotten his in. 25.9 for his. Now, looks like for the Clarence, looks like Cookie has backed off. He's gonna try again. Well, Gecko has gone to second with a 25-3. So Cookie restarting his run, and that's why he's with him on that regard. Looks like Shorts just put his in 25-3 as well. So that was with, and he was basically all by his lonesome too. Imagine having a tow from, say, your Ferrari teammate. Imagine getting a tow from somebody. Could have been closer to much closer to Raphael's time. But we're on with Cookie, who we will note is the championship leader. I believe unofficially he has 120 points on his record. There we go. Cross. Go. Now let's see what Cookie has in store here. Skither goes fourth fastest with a 25-4. And into the last corners goes Cookie. Get his mark on the board. And it's a 25-4 as well. So let's take a look at this. So the gap from second to fifth, 0.1, just about 0.11 is the gap. So just a hair over a tenth of a second between those four cars. Then you have Alex Norris and Andrea doing their thing. And we have just two drivers yet to get out of the 25s, that being Robin and Maxwell. And Raphael, by the way, with that time right now, with a 25-1, very solid run. Might potentially go faster if he pushes it. Looks like Robin tried again on his lap, but didn't get an improvement. He was about almost a tenth and a half down from that last lap. So we got just under 5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. So Robin will be returning back to the pits. He's out of fuel. He's in low fuel mode. So it's gonna be roughly about a minute for him to get back to the pits, given where he is right now. So it's gonna be about a minute. Alright, movement in the McLaren garage. Cookie has come out. Robin's just coming back in. So, Cookie back out on the track with just over 3 minutes left to go in this session. Both Ferraris are coming out. So it's a battle for pole between Cookie. So it's a battle for pole. Cookie in one of the McLarens in could possibly chance for it. Gecko, he's in the top 3. Shorts looking for a pole. Raphael looking for another pole. This should be interesting. Alright, well, let's see. Cookie has what it takes. As we get rolling for our last flying laps. Here we go, into the village in the loop for Cookie. Ooh. Oh. He backed off because he got a snap of oversteer. Exiting out of the loop. So that is not good for him. So let's go into Raphael here. As he gets on for his run. Raphael has a possibility of looking for a potential maybe 24 if he really wants to push for it. Was he faster in the first sector? He's off by about 200ths in the first sector. He might do something into the second and third. Maybe something in the second sector. Here we go. This has to get the timing just right. The motions, the shifts, everything just perfect. 500's up. He is gonna extend, but by how much? Here we go, third sector, last opportunity here. Here we go. And across the line, oh, he just misses out. But it's a 25-0. Gecko couldn't get it. Shorts invalidates. Let's go to Alex Norris. Next. So Shorts is out. There comes Alex Norris. Cross the line. He goes second fastest. What about Skither? Or Reese? Reese, only 8th. He can't do anything. Second for Skither. Now we go to Andrea. Robin into the pits. He's not going to do anything out of it. And here comes Andrea across the line. It's 4th fastest for him. So Cookie is the only one that can respond. He's the only one that can respond to Raphael. At the last corner. Cross the line. Can it be done? No. Second fastest by 62 thousandths of a second. Raphael has gotten pole over Cookie and Skither. And by the way, that's my top 3. All right there. Alex Norris 4th. Andrea 5th. And Andrea's lap, by the way, he had 0 practice going into this. He was 5th. Not bad. But there it is, people. So Raphael, pole position. Cookie 2nd. Skither 3rd. Alex Norris 4th. Andrea 5. Short 6. Gecko in 7th, Reese 8, Maxwell 9, and Robin only in 10th. And look at that. 1st through 7th. Under 4/10 between that group. All right. So, here is our grid. Let's go over our grid again here. So, Raphael and Cookie make up row number 1. We have Skither and Alex Norris in row 2. Andrea Shorts, row 3. Gecko Reese, row 4. Maxwell and Robin in row 5. Savage and Torn Penguin in row 6. It is a Haas row 7 with Josh and Minico. A V-Carb row 8 with TB and Fusion. Night Owl and Goat Lee make up row 9. And starting dead last is going to be SV. No Beatnik. So that is going to be the end of it there. So now the question is, what will everybody be starting on? We heard about the possibility of a wet race getting involved. So let's see what happens. So what tire strats will people be on? Are we looking at a possible wet? Looks like it's dry and then it'll go to wet. So we'll see what happens in that regard. Alright, here we go. 5 lights to start the Silverstone British Grand Prix of RPL. Lights out, off we go. Very strong start by Raphael as Cookie covers Skither off as they head to turn number 1. Side by side between Shorts and Andrea. Heading towards the first turn. Cookie looking for a move on the inside. Side by side. Ooh, issue with Robin. But still side by side between the front pairs. That's Cookie and Raphael battling it off. There's Shorts and Andrea battling it out too. Heading into Brooklyn's and left field. Raphael gets the better of Cookie, but Cookie's trying to fight back on the exit here, but nothing out of that one. Meanwhile, Andrea gets the better of Shorts. Shorts got very evil on the exit. Almost got hit by Gecko. That would have been a disaster. Ooh, car going wide. That's Reese gone very wide. Right in front of Maxwell. We saw some issues there as well. We had a car off earlier. That was Fusion. Fusion had an incident. Josh, by the way, just got himself a 3-second corner cut penalty. But it looks like everybody phases into place. In the background, Minico battling with SV for the 17th position. Meanwhile, Gecko battling with... Whoa! Loose and wide goes Gecko. He attempted to try to outplay Shorts, but got played himself. Let's take a look at the tires that everybody is on as Goat Lee's immediately into the penalty box. Already, we haven't even finished the first lap and he's already in the penalty box. My goodness. Well, we got trouble. We got trouble further back. Night Owl, Goat Lee battling with TB. And Night Owl lost positions. Several positions there. But let's take a look here. So Minico, Fusion, and SV already into the pits for their one. And in the background, there's Josh and TB battling it out. Let's get back into this part here. Whoa! Nice save, Josh, but that was almost a disaster right there. Torn Penguin goes very wide. And TB gets ahead of Goat Lee. Savage trying to fall through, goes extremely wide himself. Contact on the rejoin. No harm, no foul between the two. Let's get back up towards the front here. As Cookie hangs on, as Cookie is sitting in the second place position behind Raphael. Raphael does hold the lead right now. Josh and SV battling again. This time for the 13th place position, and Josh gets the advantage and ahead. Let's take a look at the tires here. So it looks like we have Savage, TB, Maxwell, and Reese on the hard compound tire. Everybody else is on the medium compound tires. Minico, SV, and Fusion already had their first stop after an incident on the first lap. Let's ride on board with Skither, sitting in the third place position. Right, sees Cookie just ahead as Cookie has DRS with Raphael, but not close enough to warrant an attack at this present time. And Skither looking and seeing something potentially here, but nothing, no dice at this present moment. But we could see a possible battle going onto the hangar straight very soon. Looks like Josh is trying to eyeball SV for the 12th place position, seeing it on the graphic there. But looks like Josh has opted to back off before the cop's corner. Didn't want to take anything to chance. The Skither goes into the grass. Dips into the grass at Chapel. Lost a lot of time to there, but down in for the lead. Contact! And Cookie goes very into a spin and loses multiple spots. And comes back in the 5th place position, and contact with Shorts. Shorts making contact again with Cookie, and Cookie loses even more spots. Cookie, I believe, made an attack on Raphael, but from the angle of the camera we were on, I don't know if Cookie maybe did he go a bit too soon, go a bit late, and either didn't turn hard enough in time, or did Raphael turn in a little too early? I think that might be seen the stewards potentially, but there's a battle for the 5th place position between Gecko and Shorts, and a little ruffling of feathers, and Gecko is up in the 5th place. Yeah, from that angle, I couldn't tell. It looked a little difficult to say on if Raphael turned a bit too early, or Cookie turned a bit too late, or it could have been both. I don't know. It was too tough to tell from the angle that we were seeing on our spectator POV. But meanwhile, let's go to the rear cam of Andrea. There is Gecko on the tail of him, but no movements out of the top 8 as of yet. Cookie did lose quite a bit of momentum from that incident with Raphael at Stowe, and because of that spin, those tires probably got heated up quite a bit because of that. So Cookie did probably has some extra percentage of tire wear that was a bit on the unnecessary side in his mind. Looks like Goat Lee and Josh just battled away again for the 12th place position. Josh ahead. No movements from the top. No movements in the top 8 at this time. So let's switch back to this little bundle here. We have TB, Josh, and Goat Lee. So TB has a bit of a train here. He's got Josh, Goat Lee, Savage, Torn Penguin, and Night Owl. Now, Night Owl was involved in an incident at the start, wasn't involved in an incident in turn 3 at the start of lap 2, but it's okay. Savage goes very wide, out of cops again. Running on board with, excuse me, with Josh, trying to keep tabs with TB. Cookie was getting pretty close to Shorts, but not close enough to warrant an attack. No noise out of that group right now. And we also have another, looks like a lot further back. Going to be seeing a battle potentially brewing for the 17th position between SV and Minico. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this very quickly, and let's see if Minico is going to go for an attack. And looks like it is not. But let's switch back to the front pack. Cookie is looking to be a lot closer this time around, but no noise against Shorts. Well, let's take a look at our biggest gainers and losers at the moment now. So our biggest gainer is Goat Lee with 5 positions gained at this present time. And with that little contact with Raphael a couple of laps ago, Cookie at the moment is the biggest loser, losing 5 spots. So the front 8 still remaining stagnant at this time. Robin trying to get even closer to Maxwell, but just need a little more gap to try to make an attack. And caught. I didn't think that was a possibility, but no, wait, that's Cookie going into the pits. Okay, I thought Cookie attacked Shorts. I'm like, oh, maybe not, but nope, it's just getting messed with here. That's pretty much it. But let's go to the front here, as Gecko is right on the tail of Andrea, trying to go for the 5th place position. Andrea just manages to stay in the DRS, and looks like Cookie will be coming out in the 15th place position at the moment, and that's going to be even more issues there, as we just had a yellow flag actually for Cookie. Weird. So, Cookie switching to a new set of hard compound tires. We're more than likely going to be seeing these guys coming back again. Gecko just went a little wide and off the track right at the end of Cops there. Probably might have gotten himself a warning for that ordeal there. But let's see. No noise out of this group. Robin has just lost. Just about lost No, he's still in DRS of Maxwell. I thought he was out of DRS. But one guy that is... Oh no, Go Lee is in DRS too. I thought... I guess got tricked. Oh well. Anyways. But we have some cars coming in. We have Josh, Goat Lee, and Torn Penguin in the pits. So the front 7 still remains pretty much stagnant as they have been since the start. The only difference it being is Reese is now 7 because Cookie wound up going into the pits. But let's see here. So as these guys are coming back out onto the track, let's see. Josh comes out in the 13th place position. Looks like Goat Lee and Torn Penguin are going to be behind Night Owl in 15th and 16th. The top 11 have yet to make their stop, but 4 of those 11 are on the harder compound tires. The closest battle currently is the is the top 7 as it stands. And it looks like no noises yet. Actually, Gecko has gone into the pits. Don't make a mistake in speed. That'll be very bad if you do. So Gecko comes in from 5th. And Robin joins him too. So, with Gecko going in, let's see how the guys ahead of him, the Red Bulls, Skither, and the Ferraris, respond to this. So we'll see how Red Bull, Merc, and Ferrari respond in regards to it. But Cookie will come out just ahead of Gecko in the 11th position. So Gecko in 11th, Robin will be coming out in 12th. So it looks like the gap between Raphael and Cookie is about 25 seconds. That's the gap there. But speaking of gaps, Reese is right on Shorts. I think Shorts is conserving. At least Shorts is just conserving because I think he might be in trouble here. As there goes Reese on the inside and takes advantage. And while that's happening, the other Merc making a move too. And into the lead goes Skidler. And wow, into the pits too. That was very close. That was super close. Skither just barely managed to get under 37 at the right time. But both Mercs make the moves. Skither was into the lead against Shorts, and Reese ahead of Shorts. Yeah, Skither ahead of Raphael, Reese ahead of Shorts. Wow. I am so screwed up. And Cookie is gonna jump both of them. And Gecko just got Raphael. Oh, this is interesting. This has got interesting now. So Cookie jumps Skither. Gecko is ahead of Raphael. Now let's see how Red Bull responds. Because we know now they're both on mediums. They're both on mediums. Shorts is on mediums. Reese is on hards. So Reese can go longer if he chooses to. So let's keep tabs on Gecko as he is right with Skither. Cookie just cut Chapel. He made a mistake. And Shorts is into the pits now. But the Red Bulls have still stayed out. The Red Bulls have opted to continue on and staying out onto the track. No noise out from this group. Let's go a little further back. Night Owl was being eyeballed by Torn Penguin, but not close enough for that. Goat Lee, his second penalty now of the event. And Shorts will come out in the 11th position, almost 6 seconds behind his teammate. Together right behind there. Raphael's stuck in a hard place because he would like to get by some of the guys ahead of him, but the problem is that he's at the back end of a DRS train. And looks like Torn Penguin looking for a move on the outside, now the inside, and he gets it done in left field, and Brooklyn's in left field, up in the 14th. Goes Torn Penguin. Reese, by the way, on the tail of Andrea as Alex Norris comes into the pits. Alex Norris was I believe was the leader when he came in. So Reese now chasing Andrea down. Now Andrea. Now both Red Bulls were on the mediums. Alex Norris just went in now, so that means Andrea is probably gonna be coming in this time by, at least. So Reese wants to make an exclamation point, goes into the inside and takes the lead. Reese leads the British Grand Prix, and Alex Norris comes out behind Shorts in 11th. TB having to fend off Savage for what's essentially right now the 4th place position. But guess what, boys? You got 3 Merc Academy drivers and 1 Ferrari coming for you. And Savage really trying to put some major pressure. Goes wide again. Losing a bit of time there. But Savage really needs to fire on all cylinders to get some movements here. And here comes Cookie in pursuit. Looking for where's he gonna make a move if he needs to, but I think he's held up by the Alpine of Savage. Savage moves out of the way. Andrea is in as expected. But just because Savage moved out of the way for Cookie and Skither, don't expect the same with TB. TB's gonna try and fight here. Cookie around on the outside and gets the attack in. Skither follows on the inside, contact with TB, and TB loses the position of Skither and Gecko. I think TB might not be happy about that. And Raphael now stuck behind TB, going around on the outside. And ahead he goes into 6th. So here we go. It looks like Alex Norris is trying to eyeball. Oh, he's into the penalty box. It looks like Alex Norris is trying to eyeball Shorts for the 9th place position. Nothing out of the sort. Not close enough. TB, the first of the hards, is going in. And speeds as well. Aye. That's like I think that's the 2nd or 3rd race that TB has been smacked around by a 10-second speeding penalty. And TB has... Oh, there it is. The raindrops. Just saw it on the screen. The raindrops are here. I saw that. So rain has appeared. Well, this is gonna be interesting because with the rain, we'll see when this track is gonna get wet. Because there's Maxwell right ahead of Cookie, and this is gonna be quite beneficial for Reese. Because if he can time it out perfectly and get the timing right to go onto the inters if the track gets too wet, if he times it just perfectly, Reese could be eyeing a very, very good position. Seeing the drops there, the light rain in hand. So light rain on this track here. So if it's light, that means it's gonna be a little while before the track gets too wet, and inters will be playing in here. Let's switch over as there's Alex Norris. Slingshot move on the inside of left field to get ahead of Shorts and takes the 7th place position. And Fusion has gone in to the pits. This is his 2nd stop, and he is going for the inters. So Fusion is the first to bite. And now the question is, for the rest of these guys, when will it be time? That is the big one. How much time till it gets too wet? I'm actually pretty stoked for this. Robin is in on his 2nd stop. Cookie and Skither battling it out. Seeing it just ahead on Gecko's POV. Skither trying to fend Cookie trying to fend him off. Skither not willing to wait. He wants the shot. He's going for it. Ooh, contact between the two. And Cookie muscles the defense and keeps him back. These two are not willing to give an inch. This is going to be fun. I believe Robin is on the inters as well. Yes, he is. So, if the inters are better, is it worth going for it? Or we just gotta have to time it out and just wait. Robin into the penalty box. And Reese is gonna take a risk. Reese is taking the risk. He's in. Keep an eye on Cookie and Skither as they battle for the lead here. As they fight, Skither and Cookie still battling it out. Gecko right behind. Raphael in tow. Still going, these boys are. And Reese is going to come out behind Josh in the 9th position. And is he on inters? Yes, he is. Reese taking a risk. Will it pay major dividends? I would say these corners are gonna be the critical moment. There's Raphael Gecko battling! And there goes Gecko into a spin! Raphael Gecko battling it out, and jeez Louise, what a mess. Caught in the background, these two were going at it at Maggots. Sorry about that. My headset died trying to get it charged. But yeah, that was a mess between Raphael and Gecko there as they battle it out for there. But the battle for the lead between Cookie and Skither is not done as of yet. Savage and Night Owl are in the pits again. It looks like Reese is not gaining any ground on Josh at the moment. But he's just got to be careful with those inters, not to overheat him too much, or he's going to be in deep trouble. Just has to be very careful. Savage and Minico. Not Minico. Savage and Night Owl pitted for the Inters as well, I believe. No, they're going on to another mediums. They're going to another set of dries. A very bold decision for those guys. But will it pay? But will it pay in spades for them? And we have trouble. We have trouble in Brooklands. That is a Robin Hood trouble. So it looks like Reese has lost a lot of time. Has lost a lot of time to Josh. I don't think the track is wet enough, and it's not going to be for quite a while. So this is not good for Reese, because if he's losing time to Josh, then that means those Inters, it's not the right move. Here we go. Brawl again. Skither and Cookie waiting and eyeing for a mistake from at least one of them. Maxwell going on to a new set of hards. I think the rain for this track, I think it's one of those rain moments where it's gonna take at least a long while for the Inters to actually kick into effect. I mean, to be fair, Reese, was this choice of going on the Inters by Reese, was this a bad mistake? I mean, think about it, you see those! Contact, and they both go around! Cookie and Skither contact, and they both go around. Raphael says, thank you very much, I will take the lead. Oh my god, talk about a facepalm moment. Skither and Cookie letting the competition get over and ahead of them, and it's cost them both dearly. Oh, good lord. Facepalm moment and a half. And I think Reese's was like, this is not working at all. He's back on the mediums. Yeah, I mean, Reese took a risk and it did not pay out. But speaking of paying out, Raphael has taken full advantage of that mishap between Cookie and Skither and has gotten the lead back. Holy cow. Just holy cow, people. What in the world did we just see? Alright, here we go. So Reese getting some positions back. He's got a long ways to go to get back into the points here. Got a ways to go here, but Skither chasing Raphael down. So battle for the lead back again between Raphael and Skither. Skither trying to keep in tabs, but they're both conserving their battery. Reese currently clawing back a lot of time against Goat Lee. He is within the 3 seconds, so Reese will be getting back into the points with that for 10th. But I think in Reese's case, he's not going to be getting much further. Oh, maybe not. TB's it back in for a second stop. Yeah, Reese fighting with Goat Lee to get himself in the 9th. I mean, bear in mind, the guy did take a gamble, took a risk, and it didn't work out with those inters. But there goes Reese, ahead of Goat Lee at the start of the Wellington Straight, and is into the 9th place position. But he does have 5 laps left to try to catch Josh. So, he's got to get 15 seconds off of Josh in order to get 8th place back. But, for Reese to do that, he's got to outrun Josh by over 3 seconds a lap. So we'll be seeing a few incidents going to be seeing the stewards, no doubt about it. The collision between Cookie and Skither, that will likely be seeing the stewards. The Stowe incident between Raphael and Cookie, that's likely going to be reviewed. Savage on our graphic just got past Goat Lee for the 11th position. Actually, I believe they're still actively fighting right now, heading into turn number 3, and Savage gets that spot. Meanwhile, the front 5 all within earshot of each other. Alex Norris, unfortunately, with that track limit penalty, he'll be dropping to 5th regardless what happens. And Reed's just trying his best to try to catch there as Torn Penguin just had a spin at the exit of Brooklands. And he has spun out. Torn Penguin, by the way, was in the 11th position, was with Night Owl and Goat Lee in the 11th position. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to find out what happened on if Torn Penguin had a moment on his own or he had help. Well, Torn Penguin disconnected. There is only couple of laps left, so as it sits, he'll probably just lose like 1 spot at least. He'll probably drop to 15th to SV. But let's stay focused on the task at hand between Skither and Raphael. The battle for the lead and the battle on who will be ahead in the stewards room if both of them get into trouble. And SV into the penalty box. Night Owl trying to chase Savage for 10th place. Savage ahead. So Savage trying to keep Night Owl back. Savage trying to go for a 2nd points finish of the season. He got that 8th place finish in Imola a few weeks, just last month. We would love to have another points position, but Skither trying and was looking, almost saw an opportunity, but took it. Nope, he's going for it. Down the inside, contact. Raphael still staying within tow. and still staying in there. Raphael still fighting with Skither here into Blufffield here, and a switchback perhaps. Skither gets loose. But Skither, by the way, has about half of the ERS availability that Raphael has on hand. Raphael looking to try to regain some grip here. Skither runs off and away. DRS in hand for both of these guys, as well as Alex Norris and Cookie too. Raphael roaring down, about 213, but opts to not attack. I think that's a smart idea on Raphael to hold off, as he still has a 20% advantage. Final lap, sponsored by DHL. This is the war here. Meanwhile, Night Owl did get past Savage on the Wellington Straight about a few moments ago. So Night Owl is looking at some points, but Savage is riding the tail as they go to the Hangar Straight. So Savage has a chance to regain the position. So here we go. This is the battle here. So Raphael has one shot left. The Hangar Straight. That's what he has left. The Hangar Straight is all he needs. Now Skither has the slight advantage on the ERS availability. Here we go. Final section. Final try. Savage, by the way, on the timing graphic, is out of range of Night Owl. And that's it. It's not enough. So unofficially, he will take back second on the board for most wins in Tier 1. But unofficially, Skither right now has win 38. But will it stay? We don't know. Raphael, unofficially in second. Cookie, unofficially in third. Alex Norris is fourth. Shorts, fifth. Andrea, sixth. Gecko, seventh. Now we got a long way to go for the remaining positions. Like I said, this is unofficial. Skither right now has win number 38. But that's unofficial. It could be taken away from him. We don't know. Josh coming across. Solid stuff for 8th place for him. Reese, unlucky moment, will be getting 9th. And Night Owl will be getting the last point position in 10th. Huh. So, I honestly don't know. I honestly do not know who I'm going to be giving driver of the day to, because of the full uncertainty of our podium, because we do not know what's going to happen between Skither, Raphael, and Cookie. So, it's just pure uncertainty. So, I mean, at the moment, I really can't give a driver of the day, because I just can't safely say who will have it. Hell, even with the win, I can't tell. But unofficially, Skither has the win with win number 38. Cookie third, and Raphael in second. But like I said, this is all unofficial, as we will be waiting for the Stewart report for that over the course of the next few days. Well, the game driver today is Savage. Start 11th and finish 11th. It's actually kind of funny. But here's your results here. So Skither unofficially with a win. Raphael second. Cookie third. Alex Norris fourth. Shorts fifth. Andreas sixth. Gecko seventh. Josh 8. Reese 9. And Night Owl in 10th. And then the rest of the field, it is Savage, Maxwell, Goatly, SV, Minico, Robin, and those a lap down, TB, Fusion, and Torn Penguin. So, yeah, I really just can't safely say who is probably going to be getting driver today because of the full uncertainty of the podium. So, honestly, I really don't know in full hindsight. Huh. And, well, so let's go with lights out in RPL. Who gets the green? Who will be getting our lights for today? One thing I will say, there is going to be no red light and fail of the day. Mainly because I don't think there was anybody that did bad enough that results a warrant for a fail of the day. But we do have 2 yellow light awards. So our green light, like I said, with the uncertainty of the podium, I'm not sure what to get on the uncertainty of who will be getting a green light for the podium. But I will be giving a green light to Josh for a solid P8 finish in the Haas, starting in that 14th position, clawed up to 8th. Very solid work for him. And then my 2 yellow lights. The first yellow light is going to be given to Skither, mainly with the collision of screwing around with his boss for the lead. Basically, Skither had a little dose of a FAFO, a small dose of FAFO right there. And the other yellow light I would give to Reese. Took a risk on going with the inters, thinking the inters would come into effect, but it wound up blowing up in his face, and he didn't get the expectation that he was hoping for. Goatly for getting a penalty in the first lap. I mean, that is a fail. That is a fail of its own. So yeah, I mean that is a bit of a fail of its own, but I really don't want to do that to Goatly, honestly. But yeah, so 1 green light, confirmed green light, that's for Josh, and 2 yellow lights for Skither and Reese, for their incidents. Well, that is going to conclude the stream for tonight. But once we get everything set and stone for next week, this is where things will get interesting. So from what I am told, apparently, we are looking at a battle between Lennon and JMS for the championship next week for the Tier 2 Season 19 finale. So that's going to be something to watch out for. Hopefully Fusion won't have a dead voice and could be available to do comms for that event. Now Tier 1 next week, we will be at Spa for the halfway point of Season 14. But that will conclude everything for this week. So from RPL Streams, we are signing off. Ironwolf saying goodbye. And we will see you next week.